The child ego state comprises of two main areas, right? The adaptive child is perfect Peter, the pleaser, the person who always pleases people. So as a child, the child learned what they needed to do to please the parent, to get a hot meal and have somewhere to sleep. These people often do not get their own needs met, don't even know what their own needs are, and they might be in jobs for really, really long times, probably managing toxic bosses. Versus the free child. So the free child is great, we're going to go out and play, we're going to have fun, we're going to go dancing, but too much of that free child is the rebellious child. Kicking off, it's the fuck it button. So this is where too much in the child ego state, as adults, we will, I don't know, drink a bottle of gin and then get on the motorbike, and this is where addiction is, food, sex, porn, all this stuff, addiction to work, just too much on the rebellious child here. But our feelings live in our child ego state. Feelings boil down to four, okay? So when people say, oh, I feel fat, that is not a feeling, right? The four feelings that we have are happy, sad, anger, and fear. There is room for all of these. We cannot just be happy all the time. Everything is light and shade. A lot of these feelings are also, in fact, all of them are somatic. When I say that, I mean you feel them in your body. The child ego state, there's a lot of non-verbal stuff there. So it's what we feel in our bodies. Fear is an interesting one. So for fear, the feeling of fear is associated with anxiety. Anxiety is fear of something going to happen in the future that hasn't happened yet. Keeps us scared, keeps us stuck. And then we have anger. There's often not a lot of space for anger, but anger and depression are linked. So if we're not allowed to express our anger, if we're not allowed to say that somebody's pissed me off, or that this has happened, or that this wasn't okay, which happens all the time, when we don't have a space to express that anger, it gets trapped in the body, it gets heavy, and then there's depression. Trapped in the body is depression, fear is associated with anxiety. Happy's great, but we can't be happy all the time. I would question if anyone was, because what are they hiding? There might be stories in families. So for example, a little boy might not allowed to be sad, but he is allowed to be angry. So when he's sad, he might go and kick off or go and punch somebody. A little girl isn't allowed to be sad, she's got to be happy all the time and pleasing all the time. To get curious about those somatic felt feelings that are associated with when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're angry, when you're scared. They are just as valid, and they're great early warning signs for us to notice. Oh, what is that sensation in my stomach? Am I getting a headache? Do I feel sick? Maybe my fingers and toes are cold, my mouth's dry, really noticing that mind-body connection and what we may be able to look at to change the outcome.